Good morning, everyone. Today we're going to talk about the Bosnian Genocide. This was a horrible ethnic conflict that took place from 1991 to 1995. Our presenters are Anna Buitrago and Daniella Di Geronimo.
Ethnic groups. As can be seen, Bosnia is very diverse. It has 48.4% Bosniak, 32.7% Serb, and 14.6% Croats. Generally, the Socialist Federal Republic of Yugoslavia was separated into republics with one predominant ethnicity. So obviously, Bosnia was an exception. It was the most diverse republic out of the six.
Centrifugal/centripetal forces and causes/roots. The centrifugal forces of religious, language, and cultural differences between the three different ethnic groups. The centripetal force of the Serb intention of creating a Greater Serbia. The Bosnian Genocide consisted of an ethnic cleanse, where ethnic groups from an area are expulsed by a larger ethnic group. In this case, Serbs launched an ethnic cleanse against the Bosniak Muslims. This resulted in an estimate of 100,000 people massacred. The population of Bosnia was extremely diverse, so of course there were many different cultures and ethnicities. Unfortunately, there were tensions between the groups, especially because the Croats were allied with Nazi Germany during the Holocaust, in which many Serbs were killed, so the Serbs were concerned with their safety. This is a centrifugal force since it pulled the country apart. It also is the root of the conflict. The Serbian people wanted to join Serbia and make a Greater Serbia, where they were the majority instead of the Bosniaks. The rest of Bosnia wanted to keep their territory, and this led to a horrible civil war.
Form of conflict. 100,000 people were killed and millions were kicked out of the state. So the Bosnian Serbs massacred about 100,000 people during the Civil War. They put thousands of people in concentration camps and expelled millions. 80% of the deceased were Bosniaks. While the men were usually killed immediately, the women were raped or sexually assaulted. They also set off sporadic murder attacks. They even took control of the capital of Bosnia for 4 years. They created their own republic called the Republic of Srpska on Bosnian territory. All the Bosnian Serbs of the Yugoslav army were transferred into the Srpska army, since the Serbian government basically controlled the Yugoslav army. Thankfully, the Croats improved their military and drove many Serbs out, and even burned down their villages to ensure that they would never return. Finally, the Croats and Bosniaks allied together and were able to take back a good amount of land.
UN involvement. The United Nations sent aid to the Muslims and proceeded to host an air attack on the Serbs. This act eventually led to signing of accords in Dayton, Ohio in 1996, finalizing the Bosnian War. Now Bosnia and Herzegovina is divided into three different regions. Each is ruled by one of the main ethnic groups. Currently still a divide exists between the different ethnic groups in Bosnia. As the Bosnian Serbs kept killed huge numbers of civilians and setting off bombs, the UN and NATO joined the conflict. Disabled by the UN international embargoes and military powers, as well as the Croat-Bosniak alliance previously mentioned, in November 1995, Bosniak President Izetbegovic, Serb President Milosevic, and Croatian President Tudjman went to a peace talk which brought about a federalized Bosnia with a Croat-Bosniak alliance and a Serb republic. However, this is an important conflict because there is still tension between the different ethnicities.
Ethnic distribution in Bosnia and Herzegovina before and after the war. As can be seen on the map, before the war, they're very spread out, and after, you can see how the different ethnicities joined together and created different republics and different fighting forces.
Shape/size of Bosnia. Since Bosnia is large and also corrupted, this made it hard for victims to be able to escape. Additionally to expanding, the time frame of the expulsion of Bosnian Muslims took longer. The civil war mostly spanned over Croatia and above all Bosnia. Slovenia and Macedonia were able to peacefully secede, and Montenegro was allied with Serbia. However, Serbia was not willing to give up on Croatia and Bosnia so easily, especially Bosnia. This is a short clip which is for Ms. Vasquez to see It's just basically a description of the Bosnian War, but a little more summarized and with more detail about the actual conflict. And this is our sources. So
thank you for listening.
we appreciate your time and attention, and we hope you enjoyed our presentation.